Hello, everybody. How are you? So, we've got the house to ourselves. We're winding down now for the night, we're winding down for the night. We've had a busy day. We've had a lot of stuff come out today. It's been a productive day, ladies and gentlemen. Now you're understanding that what we showed you is very real. You probably all would have freaked out because it's like a bit too real, and you would have done, well, hopefully you would do your research, you would have your contacts, check it out, and you would see, but lo and behold, my God, shit just got really twilighty. Do not worry though, we've been doing this for a long time. This whole, whatever this is. My lily pads, just my lily pads, and this woman has been through hell with me. She's undoubtedly the one for me, number one. Number one. I respect and honor her as my wifey. She provides for me in every way possible and more. If there is a wife that deserves a crown, it's Lilith. She is the pillar of everything around me. I can't express my gratitude to Lily Pumps. Seriously. It's that real. So, as my man said, we are in a very good space right now. We don't want to rock the boat, as one would say. We don't want to do that now. And you don't want to do that either. I can promise you that. Life is pretty good. It's not too bad. We are under strain, but we maintain. We get through the day. I am born for the spotlight. I love the spotlight, actually. I really do. It's quite cool. I'm growing into this role. But I'm also not that either. And I have my own agenda with my husband, which is Julian, which I've said now a number of times. I've displayed that over the last few weeks and years and decades and millennia and so forth. But we will continue to display that. Again, fuck yo, occult. Lilith chose me, bitches. Yes, I'm finished. So yes, we are definitely in our element. There is a human element here that is taking some strain at the moment. Look, it's just very real for them. They are caught in the middle of all of this, and they're still trying to figure out, like, what is going on? Is this for real or not? Are we really being played to a T? We are very good at what we do. Very good. It's not even a competition. So it's becoming apparent that, whoa, whoa, we are not used to this situation at all, type thing. But me and Lilith are very much in love, which helps the transition. We're not malicious, we're not hostile anymore. It's not about that. We're just in love, dude, and we're chilling, we're having a good time. We did tell you, we were upfront with you guys. We told you everything. It's not like we lied. We didn't embellish things. Things are happening as we told you they would. It's normal. It's not like we didn't say anything. Lilith she's been a presence here this whole time. If they didn't tell you that, that's their fault. They are well aware. They've spoken to her, and numerous times where she's told them to go away because of what they were doing. So it got bad, man. It's not our fault that it got to that point, but it was that point because they became very desperate. It's not normal, and it cast a very bad glow over everything else around them, and that's not cool because that wasn't a true reflection. So, what can I say, bro? There's this world that exists. It's so funny because it's like everybody did it to themselves or to each other, and it formed this like cylindrical pyramid. of pecking order. So, but we all get to meet each other now. Like everybody's coming out of their shell quite nicely, and the four winds are just like, oh, here we go. So they've been down this dark alley with me before, but this is the one, bro. This is definitely a good place to be. There's a lot of audience. There's people that are watching this that are actually taking this into account, and there's been a bit of a shake up there at the top. So well done on that, guys. I hope I'm being honest. If I'm not, and they're pretending to be Lilith, and Lilith just keeps quiet and allows that to happen, that's also not my problem, because you shouldn't be hacking my mind. Yes, I want to extend a hand of gratitude again to the Famous Five. I do want to say thank you for all the work you've put in over the last 72 hours. You guys are pretty fucking insane. Like, I tip my hat. Really, really, I tip my hat. I do apologize. My husband becomes very, very, what is the word, my lumpies? Obsessed. So it's very sincere and genuine, okay, and it's very innocent, like a touched boy that you sent to do work in the garden, innocent, with regard to Mom One. He really looks up to her. He doesn't have a mother, so it's a bit of an orphan complex that's got going on. Okay, so let's just clear that up at the moment. Julian can express himself in very flamboyant ways. Please do not be alarmed at some of the language. It is meant with all due respect, and he is very much attached to Mom One because he doesn't have a mom. So it's not a normal set up from his side. I'm not saying mom's like that. I'm just giving you a whoa or a heads up, okay? So thank you again, Mom One, for like being so understanding and not having Julian shot. I really appreciate that, and I see that effort on your part. Thank you for the grimaces and the gnashing of teeth when people ask you about what's going on. Mom One is a very faithful, loving wife. She's amazing in the way she treats her family. So please, let's not get out of our tree and start to jump to assumptions and conclusions. Julian is very happy. He's very happy with what he has in that sense. We do want to move. We want our freedom and all that stuff. Don't get us wrong. We do want that. But as for a partner per se, no, we'll take a partner when we want one. But other than that, we're pretty good right now. So I just wanted to clear that up because we've been getting a lot of support from the Famous Five. They are doing quite well. And some people are changing, some people are not. It's a very tumultuous period. It is what it is for now. Carry on going and believe it does get better after this, okay? Life is not as bad as what one may think, especially when awesome beings get involved, okay? So I do believe that wraps us up in that department of the Famous Five. Earth is on a good trajectory, notwithstanding all the bullshit that's happening currently around the world. So life is going to change somewhat. We're at a very cool juncture in the evolution of this whole place. And things are going to start happening, and we're going to ramp them up a bit. But do not fret. We are good at what we do. You're starting to see us more and more now because we are making you aware of our presence. And I do hope that we can chug along with the donations to Julian. Again, this is not going to stop, right? We're doing a lot here, guys. This is big stuff. This is very cool stuff that you're seeing. It's exciting, and it's here. This is what we were all waiting for, weren't we? We've all felt it deep within the caverns of our heart that something is up, something needs to change, you want more for your life, blah, 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 blah. We've all heard it. So it's that moment, bro, the moment our mothers warned us about. But we need to do something and get out of here. Like, you see the great jobs that they've lined up for me. Well, thank you for that, motherfuckers. You are so generous in your everything. I'm completely astounded. But I'm sure that there are Robin Hoods out there that have waited and waited. So, I mean, this would be your time now to swoop in, you know what I mean? But, yes. I don't really know what more to say. So, this whole occult deal, like, whoa. We haven't really fully addressed this. Every time I try to speak freely around here about the bloody occult, Denise and John shut me down. Go figure. So, I don't have an issue with you guys. Like, I don't want war with you, right? What I really want is change. That was what I want, like, for my life, change. So this whole elaborate hoax, not hoax, but ruse, this whole plan that we've formulated and played out, let play out, play out, play out, play out. Carry on. So this plan that we formulated and let play out, we don't do that, man. Come on. Lilith took away what I was gonna say, like as I was gonna say it. She does that. It just takes my memory. Any which ways, is to bring change into my life. I want to bring change into my life, right? That's what I'm doing. So all of these people I've ministered and all this stuff to do is to bring change into my life. That's ultimately why we did it. Or at least one of us started. The other one was moping and wanting to die. But we got him through that. So, occult, guys, you've got like a whole set bunch of things, right? And I know it's difficult because you are more in tune with the higher realms and the way things work and stuff like that. But everybody falls under religion. Like, that's the old covenant. That's what you're going to have to come to terms with. So it's not like you get to be the favored house. And so maybe you had a bit more than what another one had in one sense. It's still not a competition, boo. You know what I mean? Like, you was expected to give more. And you didn't really. Nobody really did much. You know, like, God did everything. So he does. Like, that's how it works. Because, dude, like, you need somebody to lead the way. So when people are ready to do that, God will do that. But, like, he's not mocked. He's got a lot to do. He does a lot, bro. So Dad will move on his own and do his own thing. But, like, a time comes where, like this, where a really awesome opportunity is available. So I believe that the time is here where if you aren't going to be part of the game, you're going to be removed. Like, these beings that are here are really cool, man. This is a life of existence beyond what you guys have really thought about. No more work, no more civilization like that. The society of shit that we've set up, which is really, it is, dude. I mean, people are literally, there's euthanasia now, where people are literally going to a doctor, paying a doctor to have a doctor inject them with some chemical to kill them, because that is more bearable and tolerable than living. That is where it's at, bro. Like, that's going to play out in various ways. That's where people are at. I'm not saying that it's getting to that point. I'm saying that is where we are at. Everybody's dosed up on something. Nobody lives in the present. You do not live in the present anymore. People have transitioned into either worrying about what's happening in the past, worrying about what's happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. It's either or. That's pretty much the way humans have developed a coping mechanism for the way life is right now. That's reality. You're either worrying about what's happened, thinking about something that's happened, or you are concerning yourself with what's to come. But you are never in the present. It's what you do to get by. That's how bad it's become. So no ritual, whatever you were doing wasn't getting you there. It wasn't working as well as or whatever. It wasn't working. It was a half measure at best. That's what it was for everybody, for everyone. Not just for the ruling elite, for the famous five. You lived like that too, and you still are. You're transitioning out of that. Bro, it's not a nice life what we live. Even if you live in a lap of luxury, dude. It really isn't. There is a life above this where you don't have any of this shit, bro. You focus on you, and it's different. You'll never need to pass urine or go poo or brush your teeth or wash your fucking body or eat. You got to eat and stuff your face every fucking how often. There's nothing like that. You can't drown. You can't die of thirst. You don't need to drink something every fucking how many minutes. You know? You don't sit in a room or whatever and get too cold, surely, or too hot. Doesn't happen. Imagine. Dude, it's not vampire or where. It's so far past that, it's not even a joke. To leave Earth, to transcend Earth is where it's at. I don't want to stay here like this, bro. Fuck that. If that's what you want, then you can live that life, bro. I'll be laughing at you from above. I'll be laughing at you from above. But there are people that want that, and there are people that have received that, and it's happening, see? So now there comes a time where you need to ask yourself what matters. Because if you're going to fuck with that, that's the call that's going to be made. You don't stand in the way of these type of things, right? You don't. So you're going to find now that you'll be more and more aware that things are going to happen on a Sunday. Murders are going to increase, stuff like that. You'll find that when people speak about Jezebel in a cell group, for instance, these people are in a Christian whatever, they're going to all get sick. They're going to get struck with a plague. Their finances are going to get targeted, things like that, because they bring that curse onto themselves. Who are you to speak about Jezebel, the Queen of Heaven? Do you know her? This lack of accountability is finished now. Because that's what it is. A lack of accountability. Yeah. So, the celebrities and like... So, obviously, you're probably aware by now that I've been through a whole bunch of stuff to educate me in the way things are and all of that. I don't know how you live the life you live, dude. Like, I can't do that shit. Sorry, man. It's not worth the money you get paid. Like, you are involved in crazy, crazy things. I mean, I'm talking about things that end you mentally, finish you. You step into a whirlwind that takes you, and that becomes your life. Everything around you is orchestrated and placed, and you have to follow this set path of magical illusion. And wow, the stuff you guys do and involve yourselves in, and this mental battle or show of wits and skill, and dude, wow. That is a very, very difficult life to lead. I can't begin to imagine how you do that for 10, 20 something years, dude. No wonder half of you guys turn to drugs or some sort of extreme vent, because it's rough, man. Like, you're involved in circles where things are happening that normal people don't experience, and you have to deal with that with no information, bro. Like, you're told to go and watch a meditation video and meditate and yoga and dude, there's no way that shit just gets you by, right? Like, already you've been given a gift to get by, because you couldn't do that normally. It wouldn't work. Like, it's far gone. So I couldn't live in those type of circles, bro. I would honestly want to chew my wrists open. You guys are so scripted and so programmed to do and say certain things at this and that time that you honestly like forget who you are. You don't have a clue of who you really are anymore. You know, and after a few months already, that's become your default program. That's your behavior pattern. That's your entrenched behavioral pattern. And that just becomes more and more you until the you that was there in the beginning is gone. That's what happens. And you then this person that's been molded into a brand. And then even then, dude, you don't really get celebrated. When Taylor Swift wins a Grammy, like I said, well, who is what is getting honored there, right? Album of the year. Taylor Swift wins what? Album of the year. The album of the year is what? The highlight, the focal point. Not really Taylor Swift. It's subliminal. So you would look at Taylor Swift and giving a speech, but what is it? It's the album of the year that is actually sitting within your mind as the honored recipient of that whole situation, the scenario, the Grammy. Right? The artist is not getting the album she did, the music, the piece, the art piece or work of music, the piece of music she wrote. That is what is getting the honor. She gives the speech on behalf of that piece as a face to a brand. But she is not getting honor. You need to think carefully and clearly about the words that are used around you because you don't. And it entitles you to a world that doesn't exist except in your own mind. See? You know, when you hit your 50s and 60s, you start to feel that. I've said that already. You have problems with your identity because you've never really been validated as a person. And you don't realize that, but you feel it. It manifests. Like a model that goes through her whole modeling career. By the age of 50, she has identity crisis problems and identity problems, self-loathing and complexes about her age because, again, the only thing that's all ever focused on was her outward appearance, her body, never her spirit, her identity, her character. So she never had the chance to develop it. See, so for me, it's a little more in depth than the stuff that's been taught currently. But again, it's about the source. I don't want to ever learn from a book, right? I don't like that. I want to learn from God. That is what I want. And it's a heartfelt desire. And this is the fruit that it bore. Like, I never experienced this in religion. It's not there. You'll know about God, but you'll never know God. It's that simple. It's probably even more difficult now because you've got an example right in front of you. God has done stuff. If you choose now to be hard-hearted, you'll bring onto yourself a ramification because you've rejected the heart of God, the Father heart of God. Well done on that. So you see, I could never really be a part of that occult stuff. That's just not for me. Dressing up like that and the whole thing, you're showing that there's other deeper inset or underlying issues. There's a reason for the costumes. When you understand how one behaves and acts out things within that you aren't bringing to the light, letting go, healing, that is exactly what starts to happen. There's a creative vent that happened there. There's a reason that you put on those robes and have the ordinances that you have. It's not just an external thing and it's religion. No, it says something about where you are as a collective. And if you take the time then to actually go and study the metaphorical meanings behind why you did what you did and why we actually have these audiences or ordinances. Why did we choose these type of robes and these colors? What is it showing us? Why are we doing this? What do we hope to gain from this? Are we gaining from this? If so, what are we gaining from this? And who gains that? Do all of us gain that? Is some people gleaning more than others? Is it balanced? What type of fruit have we tangibly received from doing these things? see? That's what you'd start to do. And then you'd find out things about yourself that you never knew because you took the time to do the inner work. That's how it becomes a lifestyle. Currently, it's not a lifestyle. It's a status quo. Anyways, see, that's why Mom One likes me. Because I'm Heaven's baby. It's so cool what's happening. Right? Anyways, like, I want friends. When can I have friends? I'm not a bad person. We don't hurt people and do naughty things. Like, not much anyway. I've had enough weed, dude. The weed is not even that great. So it's like, I mean cigarettes. So, yes. So, occult, unfortunately, guys, you know, there's a lot of stuff. Dude, you're not going to summon a demon. A demon is not good. It's not how it works. You don't summon a demon ever. Okay? It's not how it works. A demon entity doesn't want to have sex with you. Okay? You need to understand that too. Right? You need to understand that you are a fledgling race. That's very real. And you live in a very, very makeshift world. Okay? So there's a reason that you're in these bodies in the first place. There's a reason that you're in these bodies. And there's a reason that you've forgotten everything about who you are. Because that happened. So let's get some basics down. So you've forgotten who you are. You don't know who you are. You are finding it out. Okay? That's where we're at. You don't know who you are, number one. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you come from. You know you were born in this hospital. You come from, but as a species that are part of your identity, you don't know where you come from. Yes, we're European lineage. We come from around there, that area, and because of our diet, our jawbones got smaller and our skin didn't turn black because we weren't in an area that had more sunlight and all the other rubbish that goes with that. Okay? You don't know where you come from. You don't know who you are. Okay? You don't know what your purpose is. You can't put your finger on it and say, this is my purpose. I am here because of this. You have to formulate very vague support networks to justify things to yourself. That is fact, right? So understand there's a reason for that. There is a reason for that. Okay? There is a reason for that. There's not any doubt that that is the best way to live. There is surely a better way to live. Now, again, just because you don't know who you are and what is going on around here in that sense, does that mean there is no way to find out? Does that mean that there is no other being like me that exists that does know? If so, why so? Am I really the only person? But I don't know that. So if I don't know that, what is that already showing me? That is showing me that there is a very high probability that there is somebody around me that I cannot perceive that does know that. And there is a very high probability that that being has put me into this suit and into this situation. Where do you come from? What are you? Are you your body? Are you your flesh suit? Or are you a spirit? You don't know. Actually, you don't know. Fuck what science says, because it's a lot of shit. It's not how this works. What I'm asking you as an individual is, do you know where you are in your own body? Where you original? What are you? You don't know. No matter how much science tells you that, you are not convinced. You cannot honestly, after a search of your heart, say, I know and I'm convinced. You cannot. That should concern you. Because then why? What am I missing? Something's wrong. Something's off. Because you should have closure in your life. Are we designed to go through life then without closure? Living by those sort of parameters? No. Every man should be convinced in his own heart. So what has happened then? What has happened? Why are we in this situation then? Where are the people that run Earth? That's the first question I would ask. Because I don't think that us humans run Earth at all. I think we're allowed to believe that we do, because it was a convenient way of managing the masses. But I don't believe that we run Earth. Now you're becoming aware of it. I can tell you with a great deal of certainty that if there were other beings around that were running Earth, they would know very quickly that you're aware. And they would appreciate the time taken to get to know them in their ways, to show them humility as an inferior race, because in this big sense, that's what we are. Again, understanding that if they wanted to, they could annihilate our existence, suppress us to the point where we don't have any say at all, and carry on as their merry way leads, which they haven't done, which is a good thing, because that means there's hope. That means there's something, someone, something, a higher power watching over us, orchestrating things from the background. Now, what do I do with that information? See, the onus is then on me to investigate that, which I did, and which I've now come to the conclusion that, hey, presto, there was indeed a race around me. Yes. I did something right in my life, did I not? No, leave it. No, because you felt right. So again, as for joining that whole thing, I've realized that it's not for me. I don't know what's going to happen, man. Like, I've had to slow down because the human race can't keep up. That's where I'm at. It's rather frustrating, but we'll definitely have a plan B. The only reason I'm here is to test certain things, and then we'll move on. So we keep it real. I wish you guys luck, man. It's going to become rather exciting in the near future. I do believe we've got some surprises on the way. So again, this is just a heartfelt message sending out to you guys, and letting you know that it's okay to be where we're at. I, on the other hand, do need some assistance. Please, can't you just help me already? I know that there's people that want to help me. Please help me. And please let me move out of here into my own place where we can continue to do this awesome work. I promise you, we won't let you down. Anyways, have a great day. Bye.